Hi, my name is Quinn, and this is Open Awareness Yoga. And today we've got 30 minutes to help ground the body and settle anxiety. So I know from personal experience, my own life anxiety often feels like a lifting of energy. It feels like there's a lot going on up here in my chest and in my head, and it almost feels like I can't breathe or can't take a really deep breath. And so because of that lifting, we want to do the opposite, get close to the earth. And because sometimes it can be hard to breathe, we'll be focusing on, at first, breathing into the backside body and extending our exhales nice and long. You'll need some props. So a yoga block, this could also be a stack of hardback books about 5 inches tall, a blanket, any firm blanket or a bath towel, and a bolster. And so you can use a firm pillow or the back of a couch cushion or even a rolled up blanket as a bolster. And if you don't have all this stuff, you can just do a child's pose without it. But I will teach you how to get into a fully supported child's pose that will help with breathing into the backside body. So in your practice space, you'll also need a wall for the next few poses. So in your practice space, you'll set your block or your stack of books at the head side of your mat, and then your bolster on top of that at a diagonal. Your blanket is optional because for child's pose, where we sit back on the heels, some folks have sore ankles, and some folks aren't very comfortable in their knees. So there's a couple ways we can prop ourselves for this. One is making a small roll in the blanket, placing that underneath your ankles, and then trying to come down here over your prop setup. Another for the knees would be to take your blanket and place it right behind the crease of the knee, which takes out some of the flexion here in the knee joint. And then again, you can come down over your bolster. And you might already have found yourself a really comfortable position. Hug the bolster underneath it, and then bring it into your chest. If child's pose is not comfortable in your body at all, that's okay. There's one more thing that we can do. I'll move my cat so you can see. You'll just come to lie down over the bolster, belly on it, creases of the hips at the edge, and then here, your forehead can just come right down to the ground, like so. And this is very similar to a child's pose, and it will do the same thing physically in your body, which will help direct your breath into the backside lungs. Okay, so finding yourself in your version of a child's pose, making any adjustments you need to be completely comfortable. And when you get there, tune into your breath. And if you can today, breathe in and out through your nose. Soften the tops of your shoulders down away from your ears. And feel the chest and belly interacting with the prop that's underneath you. You may notice as you inhale, you feel your body pressing down into the bolster. And as you exhale, you feel the body softening away. And can you notice your lungs filling in the front, sides, and back of the rib cage? So that every inhale breath, your ribs grow from right to left, from top to bottom. And as you exhale, the ribs shrink. And as a way of focusing the mind, repeat to yourself as you breathe in, breathing in. And as you breathe out, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. There's no need to force anything with the breath. There's no need to be in a position that's uncomfortable. So feel free to adjust. Maybe even just lying flat on your belly on the floor. And stay with the breath. And breathing in and then breathing out. And now pay extra attention to your exhale breath. And let your inhale breaths just come naturally. And try to smooth out the exhale. Slow down the exhale. You might even slow down how quickly you say breathing out, so that your exhale breath becomes slower and longer than your inhale breath. If you start to feel short of breath, or if the breathing starts to cause anxiety, then just return to a normal breath. There's no need to do it. But if it's okay, focus on that smooth, slow exhale. We'll be here for about another minute. Just breathing. Cuddling in towards the earth. Getting low to the ground. Connecting to stability. And connecting to our own root, our lower chakras, our center of gravity. rooting down so we don't get carried away. Take one last deep breath. And you'll come slowly, slowly to seated. And if your knees have been bent in your child's pose, just straighten them out. Extending the legs. Maybe massaging the knees on the inner and outer knee. Pointing and flexing through the ankles and the toes. And we'll head over to the wall. So unless you want a pillow, you won't really need much of anything. So I'll take the blanket as a little pillow underneath my head. And the way you get your legs up the wall is you sit right alongside it with one of your sides flush to the wall. And then swing your legs up as you lay your back down. Now, if you've got tight hamstrings, you might scoot your hips a little further away from the wall, but don't go too far because we won't have the legs simply up the wall for too long. Now, if swinging the legs up the wall didn't work for you, you might also just bring them up and scoot yourself in, inchworming your way. It might not be graceful, it doesn't matter. And once you get there, roll your shoulders underneath you. So you tuck your shoulder blades underneath your rib cage, and they feel a little flatter on the earth. And let your arms roll away from the body so your palms are face up. And feel an opening across the top of your chest. Relax the shoulder blades completely. And return to breathing in and breathing out. Stay internal. Bring the soles of your feet to touch. Slide your feet down the wall and open your knees wide. You might need to adjust your hips closer to or further away from the wall. You might choose to use your fingertips on your knees or thighs as moral support for your legs. If your shoulders snuck up towards your ears, roll the shoulder blades back underneath you. And come right back to your breath. And those longer, smoother exhales. And if at any time your knees start to hurt, straighten your legs back up the wall. And if it becomes too much, too big of a stretch for you, same thing. Just adjust your body so that you feel supported. It feels like your practice is serving you. As you breathe here, feel your connection into the earth. Notice every square inch of your body that's in contact with the ground beneath you. And drop into that support. Growing roots down into the earth. And breathing out. We'll be here with butterfly legs for a couple more minutes. But remember, always do what feels best for you. You might notice your feet slipping further down the wall. I recognize this as gravity, a constant force. It's always with you, always keeping you grounded. Sandwiched between the sky and the earth. And breathing out. And if you're really happy here, you're welcome to stay. Otherwise, bring your hands to the backs of your knees, pull the knees together, and one at a time, lengthen your legs back up the wall, adjusting yourself as you need to for comfort. Maybe pulling the knees into your chest if you've had enough of the legs up the wall, and taking a break. Stay connected to your body, to your breath, and to the earth beneath you. Close to the ground. And breathing out. We'll stay with our feet on the wall, and we'll come into a figure 4 stretch. So you may need to scoot your hips a couple inches further away from the wall. And then take your right ankle, cross it over the left knee, and press the right thigh towards the wall. And bend the left knee any amount until you feel some sensation in the right hip. If you feel anything in the right knee, pull your knee closer towards your chest until you don't feel anything at all in the knee. This is for the hip. And again, you can leave your hand on your right leg for support, or maybe bring your arms down by the side of the body. You might even roll your palms face down, as if you're holding hands with the earth beneath you. connecting to the sensations in the palms of your hands as you touch the earth. And we'll hold this for a few minutes. Again, follow your body. Do what you need to. We're working through hip openers here with the support of the wall, which stimulates the lower chakras, especially the first and second chakra. And this being the base of the body, it's the densest energy, the energy that's most connected to solidity, to form, to earth. And so we're stimulating a grounded sense in our own bodies. As we breathe slowly out, straighten the left leg back up the wall and release your right leg to meet it. We'll spend a few moments in between sides. Left side, bring your left ankle to your right knee. Press your left thigh towards the wall. And then bend your right knee any amount, sliding the sole of your foot towards the wall and down the wall until you feel something, anything at all in that left hip. Adjust for knee issues. And then return to your connection to the earth and your exhale. And breathing in and breathing out. And breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Release your left leg back up the wall. Take 2 or 3 more breaths here. And slide your heels down the wall, bring your knees in towards your chest. And roll to one side. And then make your way onto your back in a Savasana. And then grab whatever you're using as a bolster or blanket. So we'll use it as weight on top of you. So for Savasana, you'll lengthen your legs long. And then take your props, really any props, and place them long ways along your body. So it's like a weighted blanket. You'll find the right place for you, whether it's on top of the chest area or more on top of the hips and legs. And tuck your shoulder blades underneath you. Bring your arms down to the side of the body, palms face up or down. And return to your long exhales. As you breathe, imagine a field of freshly turned dirt. Moist, rich soil, loose and ready to receive the seeds. And imagine you're laying in this field of dirt. You feel the moistness of the earth. You smell that fresh, earthy smell. And you release your weight heavier and heavier down into the soil. And you yourself become soil. You become earth. We're right here at the end of our 30 minutes. You're welcome to rest here as long as you like. When you're ready to return to your day, remove the weight on top of you and sit up twice as slow as you normally would. And spend a couple moments seated, vowing to return to your day having been changed by the time you spent grounding and breathing. Thanks for practicing with me. And my gratitude to you, to the teachers and students that came before us, and to the ancient rishis, the seers in South Asia and India, who passed this practice of yoga down to us. Bye.